Very good morning to you and welcome to this special coverage. We're coming to you live from Village Voice. And we want to thank all of you for joining this broadcast. We're also streaming through, um, Benchcap Radio and CAMS TV. We're taking a visit with the mayor. City Mayor Umraj Ryan is um, checking, doing some assessment, flood assessment around the city. We were on, uh, you know, Lane Avenue there, where a tree fell on a house. The family is, you know, very, very unhappy about it. Unfortunately, that happened during this rainy season, but there's a lot of flooding around the city. Lots of flooding around the city. The mayor is doing the best he can to ensure the pumps are up and running. Um, we're now heading to South. We're going to visit some of the areas in South Bramveld, and other areas as far as possible we can touch today, so that you can see what's happening in Guyana. Um, you know that we having flooding in all of the regions in Guyana, all of them, all 10. This is the first time such things are happening in our country. This disaster is affecting homes all across the country. And look at that. Look at this here. This is Aubrey Barker Road here. That's it, Aubrey Barker Road, flooded out, right out. That's it there. We're heading, this is Quichilo Avenue. Quichilo Avenue there behind um, Ramville area. The mayor is right up in front there. He's just turning there. I am right behind him, so that we can let you know exactly what's happening. If you just join us, we bring you this coverage live via Village Voice News as well. We're streaming this also on 107.1 FM and also CAMS TV. These are some of the areas in South Rumveld that are flooding out all there. Homes are underwater in all the wards, most of the wards, I would say, around the city. My name is Andrew Weeks, and I'm bringing to you this coverage because I want you to see what really is happening. The mayor is coming out. We come out. Let me step out with the mayor. Just give me a second. So that's what's happening here. There's flood water there, flood water here. Mr. Mayor, we're live. So we're in South Brunswick. This is a home that is flooded out here. This is like almost like 3 or so feet of water. Mr. Mayor, we just came from Lane Avenue and other areas, other wards around Georgetown. Give us an update quickly. How the situation is. The folks are viewing from across the world.
All right. I want to say to the viewers out there and the citizens of Georgetown, I'm in the fields since about five something this morning, and it's in soak. I had to go home and get dressed and come out back to here. However, I can say this much: our pumps, all of them, are working very well.
Yes.
Presently, the door of those sluice or cokers are currently open, and I believe it will close around 3:34 this afternoon.
Yes.
So we have enough time so the water can run off from the city. However, we are experiencing high tide as well.
Okay.
So we have to be very careful. But I can say this much: the city is balanced right now because certain areas in the city did not flood. Only a few areas that in the city flood.
Okay.
But I'm on the fields and in the fields, and I'm trying to assess various areas and community and so on. I have a From here I am heading to south. From south I'm heading into Plum Park and Farmers Field
Right.
because I heard there are some houses there is underwater.
All right. So right now you're visiting a home here, lot 127.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a flood victim
Yeah,
as
and you
well.
can see the street, entire street as well, and
Yes.
some other areas
Harvey
too.
Barker Road. And look at the drains there. You can see all of those drains with water.
But this much here, we also I call on residents and citizens of Georgetown. Most of the problem we have is garbage piling up in gutters. So if people can able to weed and clean in front of them and back of the yard and so on and keep those areas clean to help us as well.
Have you been getting any help from central government pertaining to this matter?
Um,
Garbage in the city?
the central government is all about politics, and I'm not intend to follow up with central government. It's a back and forth with the city and central government, and I don't willing to fight with central government because the president, in fact, lashed out at the city for things that happened in their tenure when the PPP was in power. All these can't happen in 5 years under coalition. Coalition government has helped the city tremendously. Garbage trucks and all these things. Since PP took office, we're not getting those kind of help anymore. And I extend the olive branch of the city to the government many times, and I'm surprised that they took those same thing that I met with the president and team and discussed these issues, and I'm surprised they took it and put it in a for political scores because I need help. I need to work with any government so that we can able to get the city in the right way and able to help the citizens of Georgia. My interest is about the city developing. So I want to say we are working.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, thank you. We'll come back to you just now. On the road. So this was happening, flooding all in most of the roads in the city. The mayor is heading into a just park the corner so that we can see what's going on here. So if you live in a home, wow, there's a lot of water. Look at the tree. I'm still over 2 or maybe 1.5 feet over here.
The Minister of Public Works live around this area. This is one of the area you should look after very well. How you doing? I come to assess this flooding. See, yeah, I'll get the terrible flooding in this area. How you doing?
What's happening? You can see here flooding going on here. Trying to get that flood coming out, trying to do the best they can to deal with the flooding. This is lots of water here. If your house is not high enough, you will be flooded out. You can see there, the mayor is going into this home here.
Mayor. How you doing? You alright? There's a lot of water in your place. A lot of water in your place. Okay. So you're cleaning up though?
Yeah, because I know what to do.
All right. Good. All right.
Okay.
I'm happy that the water didn't get in your house. Take care.
All right, you're welcome.
All right,
You
good.
are.
Okay, okay. All right, you take care.
Wow, this is so we're heading down at the back of South. It's the South Gardens we're in right now. We're heading to the back of South to see what's happening there. I can tell you lots of flooding in that area, lots of water. All 10 regions flooded out under massive water. Look at this. Look at that. See that there? It's the South Gardens, um, just behind the Channel 2 television station. It's where we are right now. Um, while some homes are built, they have a high foundation. There's some low foundation that you see there. I can't see that one there. This is level of water in this area, South Gardens. And we are bringing to you this coverage live. We want you to see it so that you can get a feeling of what's happening around the country, around the city. I'm traveling with City Mayor Braj Narain, and to let him, he's having an assessment done in terms of areas that are flooded out across the city. We're heading back up south, Renville, here. Look at that whole drain there, right up, right up. This is and more rain coming. If you look on the cloud, there's dark. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is Aubrey Barker Road in South Rumville here. And this is, you're going to see exactly, what happens um, when it's raining, you know, in this area. Everything goes underwater. Everything goes underwater. Look at that. to the chief of staff is passing us right now. I think he also paid a visit to some of the areas at the back as well. So we're heading there. Uh, I could imagine what's happening to some homes in this area that are below the level of the water. Um, this look at that. For some of you who could see this, you can imagine what's happening in other areas across the country. Um, that's what happens when you know there's a high tide as well, and when the coker or the pumps are not pushing to maximum capacity as possible. That can happen too. Um, uh, when the drains are not dug, when the canals are not dug, you get this buildup of water. The drainage in the city has always been a major problem uh, at these times, right? Always been a major problem. Simple drains. If you don't dig your drain, if the city doesn't um, get the funding to dig the drains, then there are some folks who will not do that because they didn't pay their taxes, and the city's supposed to get it done. But we're just came off of Abibakar Road. Um, I think the mayor may be heading into Guy or Tuckville, North Rumville, heading into Tuckville, North Rumville area. Um, heading, in, heading into Tuckville, North Rumville area. Tuckville. I think this is another area that normally gets floods out as well. Um, there you go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that here. Yes, if you just joined the broadcast, we are coming to you live, bringing you this coverage. We're with the city mayor, and he is doing an assessment of the flooding, as well as visiting some of the victims that are affected by the flood. Uh, and so, bringing you this coverage, we're on Village Voice. We're also having this coverage live via 107.1 FM, I think, Benchcup Radio, and CAMS TV. That's bringing this coverage here for you today, so that you can see what we are tracking as we, travel around with the city mayor to do this assessment in the area. I think he may have detoured. I would be heading somewhere in Sophia. I'm sure we were heading to south, but we detoured off that road, and we are now heading. I think we're heading somewhere in Sophia. So we're going to see how that goes. But the weather, there's more rain coming. If you check the weather forecast, you will see maybe rain, lots of rain for the next 9-10 hours here in the city. I can imagine what's happening around the region. So you would have seen Ikokwani and other areas that are flood out. Uh, like I said before, it has been reported that it's a history-breaking moment for Guyana. We have not seen flooding with such magnitude across all the regions. It has never happened. This is real unprecedented. So yes, we're heading into Sophia. We're heading there. So this is Sophia. Just about to cross the bridge. So if you just join us, welcome to the broadcast. We are bringing this live to you. I am in my vehicle behind the city mayor, Umbraj Narain, and he and his team are heading to do some assessment around the city. We are heading, we were going to Sophia just now, but I think he took, a detour, and we are now heading into Sophia. So yes, that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. So the road there, road in Sophia here is bad as well. Some of them. So share the link, like the page, and spread the word. We're with the city mayor doing some flood assessment um, in this area. So city mayor is up front there in that vehicle, and just behind him we're in Sophia. We're in B Field Sophia right now, and the city mayor is in front.
You're in tune to 93.1 Real FM. So much DC. Watch we say these things. So much hurry and broken esteem. But still unanswered. If God be for me, who can be against me? If God is with me, who shall I be? If You're in tune to 93.1 Real FM. You're in tune to 93.1 Real FM. guaranteed to notice.
All right, so we're in Plum Park. We're in Plum Park area. I think the mayor said that he wanted me to pay a visit there. So we're in the Plum Park here. I think I have some people outside there, maybe waiting on the mayor. Not sure, but we're going to see what's happening there. Um, okay, so this is the area. Let's get out there, see what's happening. Stay with us. Stay with us. All right, there's a few councillors out here. All right, so we're here. We are live.
Yeah, so what we're doing, we're going through Plum Park. If the rain was falling, I said we would have a distributor or sell it, but since it's not raining, we're gonna go through and then we're going to the Douglas Road.
Yeah.
Where we gonna?
So, Mr. Hines, what's happening? What
Morning-
we doing?
Morning,
We're live.
Well, you know, this kind of weather has caused a lot of action on the part of the council, and the mayor was forced out the block, making sure that he went to a lot of the constituencies to address the concerns of our people, and not to be kind of left out are the people in Farmersfield and Plum Park. And here we are at the junction of Plum Park and Farmersfield, where we'll be looking to see some of the concerns. And in fact, these people, like the word that the mayor was coming, and they prepare a script of some things that they want the mayor to hear. And in fact, I should give the mayor his copy because they gave me one. So I said, these are some of the problems that they have.
And what are some of the problems you're hearing that they?
Well, the major problem in this area is drainage. Drainage is a major issue here. And one of the other things that they're talking about, there are a lot of kind of construction violations in relation to plots and so on allocated, where fences are situated. These are some of the,
Right,
these
you
are
can
some
walk
of
and
the
talk.
issues that people have raised. So they may, well, he building a new bridge. No, he flooded out. He blocked the water from coming out temporarily.
How your water going up? You don't get much flooded. You're doing some work. How is it, mommy? You sexy, right? All right. Good. Hope the water goes down.
Yes, Mr. Councillor Hines.
Yeah. But
So-
those are, like I said, those are the major problem. And now, you see, the problem also is that had
know-
the city council been allocated any funding to address these matters, much of the complaints that we have in terms of our constituencies would have been addressed. But like it is right now, things are scarce on all fronts. But then added to that, we are not getting the kind of what I will call prompt and effective kind of support, say from central government. If we get that kind of support, I am telling you, this council, this current council, would have been doing kind of wonders in this country.
You're already doing wonders.
Yeah.
So that we need more money to do more.
So you want to ask here?
No, I want her to explain to you what's going on here.
What's happening here?
Here, right? This one over here, black. It don't go no way, no way. You see, we put a pipe here, so this drain from over there to here. Now, if the outfall they don't clean, this one thing going no way. So the whole place is flood, all over. When
You put a
see
pipe down here.
yes, you put a pipe here. Got another pipe there. Got another thing, but all these things block. I noticed they had persons coming here to clean them. When I talk with them, they said, "They come for
There's a
cleaning."
pipe.
But this is the main.
I believe
This is the
if
main
I to make a comment here, you see when the coalition used to give the city the $5 million per constituency, these are little works we used to do in the constituency. He was able to give the youths in the area some kind of job, and these areas used to be clean. You see it clogging up again.
All right, if you just join us, we're in Plum Park and we're doing some assessment. We're looking at some of the drains and the canals and the bridges and possibly some flooding in the area as well. What is the population of Plum Park? Do you know, Mr.
The
Councillor
population,
Hines?
this is a small kind of community. I would say the population here is in the vicinity about 12, 1,500. But
12, 1,500
yeah,
persons.
1,500 kind of residents. So let me make it a wrong figure, about 2,000.
Okay.
About 2,000 people who live in this block of land. And if we get a little technical, this area here that is referred to as Plum Park and Farmers Field is really under the umbrella of the estate of Sophia.
Oh,
Because remember, these estates had run from the seawall right down to the kind of blackout.
right.
But over the years, the names have changed because people call here Plum Park, but it's really kind of Sophia. It's in the Sophia estate. Because from Sophia, you have kind of Liliendal, then you got kind of Patterson, then Torkine, then Cummings Lodge and Cummings Park. So those are all estates. But over the years, they've changed these two communities' name. Farmers Field, like I said, in the days of Bonham, when he allocated those plots to people to do farming. But that activity has been transformed now into other economic activity in the area. And that's why those names have come about. But really, that's what it is.
All right.
This one of the main man here, you know.
Good, all right. Be careful, right? Take care, man.
What's up, free bag?
How
much are free bag?
So is a part of your constituency, councillor, or you just
No, I'm constituency 9.
the constituency?
But when you're a
nine?
councillor, you're not just a councillor for one constituency,
Right.
the whole of Georgetown.
Right.
So I'm here giving support to my fellow councillor, Hines.
What is happening in constituency 9? How is the area in terms of flooding and so
We
on in
don't
that
have
area?
that much flooding.
Mhm.
It's mostly to the front, and that's because of the road project that's going on.
Right.
But everything seems to be under control.
Right.
That much I can see for constituency 9.
What are some of the needs in the area that you find is more needed?
We need our drains cleaned, most importantly. I listened to Mr. Edgel the other day saying that December they gave 300, they allocated 300 million for cleaning, which they had done, and I'm still wondering where the 300 million went because no work was done in constituency 9. I asked for the road to be done on Durban Street between Victor and Mandela, and it was done. I must say thanks for that. And
Remind the folks where constituency 9 really is, because
constituency 9 is Lodge, Meadowbrook, Durban Backland.
okay,
So,
Lodge, Meadowbrook, Durban back.
yes. So jobs is a major issue. Even with the contracts that they're giving out, they're not giving it to the persons in the constituency. I went to a meeting where Dharamlal said that people in the constituency will be getting work. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because if you go into some of the areas where they're doing at least some sort of work, the people from the area don't know these people who are doing the work.
No,
So these are all the things that, and who else, who better to do the work than the people who live in the constituency?
That tube is what
So
leading
we
it
got
to
major
over
problems. We got big issues.
Okay.
But I'm here giving support to my councillor.
that tube is the only tube.
All right.
That's the only tube that they got. The black tube.
And we beg for the tube problem here.
So, Mr. Mayor, what's going on here? We're having a serious problem. You said that.
They said that I'm visiting this year with the council of where one tube is only leading to the next main canal. So you might have to make representation to have maybe two more tube to bust the road and put in two more tubes so that this water can transfer to the main canal so you can
See
go
if
out
in
to
this
the
water
channel.
here is
Yeah,
clogging up.
it's stagnant water.
There you go.
Mrs. Fordyce. All right, go ahead, go ahead. How far?
So you see the water building up here in Plum Park.
Right? Now, they got to set up there was the past government in them time. So just do a little thing here so we could get out when the rain fall. Until now, it's couple well years we there with this. Couple well years we there with this. We getting robbed just as we come around the bend there.
Yes.
No light, we getting robbed as we come around the bend.
Yes, must get
Since
a
you're
road,
coming around the bend there, they got people ready for rob you right
at
from
least
the
a
bend there.
pitch,
At least
a
a little road and
pavement
little light.
with lights.
We got
There
nothing.
are people living through here, not animals.
Nothing. Since you come around there, they got and most
Must.
people in here,
And here
is
they're
single
too long.
parents and
Here they're too
women.
long for here be like this.
You gotta get
They
it.
must have a
I
pave
agree on
at
the light
least.
and the little assistant.
You
A
get
walkway,
people
a
here.
walkway.
Yeah,
Women
yes,
got to
sir.
throw in away the walking bag
Keep
and
the
run.
walkway self. You know? You get a road on straight from straight to this, right? Donkey years the road there. So we put sand dewar kind of thing to try to build the road. You understand where I'm coming from? But we need the assistance. You get me? We need the assistance because everybody in this village here is walk this route. Yeah, indeed. The school children them is come from
What
them.
I can
This is
say,
it.
what I
You get
can
me?
say I'm gonna do here is
Yeah.
that I'm gonna take pictures here, and I will try to write the Ministry of Public Works to see if we get some help, to see how we can able to
Improve the road
collaborate
and put some lights.
with the Ministry of Public Works and local government to put a strip here and some lights we can see.
Yeah,
how
this is
to
a
do
strip
it.
body.
So
This is the walking. This is the path here. What is the name of the street you're living?
Second Street, Plum Park. And I'm paying actually 11,000 rates and taxes. I have all my receipts to show. And the whole place is flooded. My whole yard flood. Whole yard up, you can see from the second thread of the flood. I had to make like a makeshift bridge this morning.
Hmm. Oh.
The whole place is here. It's flooded.
You ain't good, man. You high.
What happened you? Water.
No light and good.
Where you said that I don't answer your phone?
What's some forest on the line? I'll tell you what.
So we are here in Plum Park and we're doing some assessment as well. If you just joined the broadcast, we are bringing to you this coverage on Village Voice, on Benchcap Radio, and on Cams TV. That's where we're coming through with this coverage, doing some assessment in the flooding, doing some assessment in terms of bridges and canals and so on. Some of the concerns of the residents here is about roads, drainage, light.
with these drains here, we're just able to maintain it during the collation, Councillor Hines make mention of a special subvention of $75 million was given by the then Ministry of, which is Community, then Ministry of Communities, to the city, so that those monies will go to put up lights and drains and maintain the areas. But since 2020, we never received that kind of subvention anymore. And I make representation for those monies, but no response from the Ministry of Local Government.
I spoke to him about the structure. Well, if you don't hear me, what can you put this bar in front and put concrete. Bar, you know what? You are the thing.
There you go. Uh, so
But this a lady talk to you,
that's what's happening in Plum Park. You know, the drainage you got over there. You see the water just not moving, stagnant water, and should more rain come, um, this will overtap, and this can flood the community. So it stopped right there. Look at that. See that? Right there. Stop right there. That's it. The water's not going anywhere. Look there. You look right there. There's a blockage there. There's a lot of vegetation there, bush, and so on. Look right there. You're gonna see there's no movement to the water. And if you come across here, you would see some people that maybe have tried to clean the drain, and you can see all there, right up. No movement of the water. It's just blocked. So a lot of work to be done.
You good?
You flooded, brother? You all right?
So we're in Plum Park. It's the second street, you said, ma'am? Second Street, Plum Park. Um,
How you do, mom? Morning, morning. You digging the drain? All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, this like you play?
Me? No, after this bush yard, the next yard.
These people need to occupy the land.
I just gotta pay $1,000 to clean here. If me take it and clean, the owner coming. This is my yard. I had to make this morning.
They got much flooded.
Right. It is high. It was real high this morning.
So the water
It was
full
real
out.
high, yeah, but it's running out. The
But the
water
tide is
was
falling
before. Really good. Because I had to put in this water.
Oh, you got a lot of water.
Yeah.
Did the house flood?
Well,
Oh, you
I
barricaded.
decided to, yeah, I decided it was.
All right, barricaded now.
All
All right, all right. So it's pulling up.
pulling on, pulling on.
But I
But the
know
tide kind of falling out. So I don't know.
How you doing?
Let me go through some of your stuff.
All right. How you keeping? Morning, morning, everybody.
Ah,
When we finish here, we head in Albaistong.
All boys town.
Oh, you want to check the back? I can tell you the pumps, all the pumps are working. The sluice door currently open, and it will be opening till about 3:34. So the water in the city can able to pull off. So
Mhm.
we working to get the water off.
You put me on camera, but and tell you how really going on. You see me?
Yes, yes.
You gotta go on the camera. What I mean, let me hear you. You gotta be real. You see?
Now you guys do this yourself.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah, the person through the street, not out here in the street. They bought that and they got another truckload to bring in. So do here.
Oh, self help.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
This is a walkway, watch.
Here's a walkway.
This is the main part of the walkway.
But you have to study the walkway
Am I down there?
in the plan.
All right. This park is at the end of the Plum Park at the back, right?
This is the
So
same road
mainly
that
everybody
the
uses this area
public
for now.
works guy do.
But this area used to be cleared. We used to clean it and go. So eventually it blocked to the front. So nobody cannot get out. When the rainfall, you cannot
Now,
use it
now
as a
listen
wall.
to me. Now listen to me. Is this trackway within the plan for the area?
Yeah,
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
this is trackway.
Because I don't believe that if you have a road, you will need a trackway.
No, well, this here.
You understand?
Let me just explain this part to you. From since in the inception we came in here, this is where generally everybody used to be using.
Well, you know, time change, time evolve.
Yes, we agree. We agree. But if most of the people living into this back, other than going right down to the front as it comes in, they use this entrance way to the back.
Uh-huh.
Quite a while it was using and the water was going out. So suddenly it blacked up. And since
Because
the
I
last
don't, I
cleaning,
don't
the water
believe
cannot get it
this
from
will be
anywhere.
in the plan. No, we'll have to get a copy of the plan,
Yeah, they do have a plan.
right?
But I don't know, like when you
Because
said,
I don't believe they're gonna put a road here and then a trackway here. I don't think so. We gotta get
Okay.
a plan, and we have to look at that.
Okay.
The road from
Okay.
in front of the road, you know, a strip like
A walkway.
for everybody to walk.
Yeah,
Not
all right.
a
We
road
have to
for
get a
cars.
plan and check
The
it out.
walkway, not
Yeah,
everybody
we
to
have
walk.
to check it out. We are not
Okay.
rebutting, but we can check it out, sir,
All right.
and ensure it is
All right, so we're still in Plum Park. Still in Plum Park. We are just got word that Lamaha Spring is flooded out. Lamaha Spring is flooded out, and we may be visiting that area very soon. So if you just join us, we are in Plum Park, and we're visiting the community with some of the councillors, and so we're going to be going to All Boys Town as well. Visit All Boys Town and other areas in the city to assess the flooding in the area. We were in Lane Avenue just now, and a house, tree fell in a house. The mayor was there. He commit the support of the council to the people living in the house there, and we are now in Plum Park, doing some assessment as well with the councillors, and from there, the mayor is supposed to be heading to All Boys Town to see what's happening in All Boys Town. But we just were told that Lamaha Spring is underwater. Lamaha Spring is underwater. So we may, I think the mayor may take a walk, a visit to that area to do some assessment. So if you're joining us, we are coming to you live with this broadcast. Flood update, and then you'll see what's happening. So here we are. Here we are. Just Plum Park. So these are the residents here.
Could you come every time you have to read it?
So here we are in Plum Park, a community of over 2,000 people, and this, based on what Councillor Hines told me just now, This was a part of the estate. Back then, we have like about 2,000 people living in this area. We're going down at the back um, with the mayor and see what's happening. And then we're going to go to Albistown and Lamaha Spring. So let's see what's happening in this area. There you see blocked up drains right down there. Look at that. See, no water is not going down as fast as it should because the drains are not dug. All right, so if you just joined our broadcast, we're coming to you live via Village Voice 107.1 FM and CAMS TV. Bringing to you this coverage. We trust that you spread the word, like the page, as we continue with our assessment in Plum Park. There, see that? Water not going anywhere yet. Actually, I never really, this is the first time I really come in deep down in the back of Plum Park. Not really familiar with this area too much, but that's the importance of knowing your country. That's how you get to know where the beauty of your country, and you find the time to go and pay a visit, you know. Really, it's nice. Yeah. See that? Again. So look here as well, you're gonna see locked up. You know what's this? This used to be what? This is this area here.
This is Black Keys of Fire.
This
Yeah, this roundabout here is Black Keys.
Black Keys of Fire.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We're talking about the dumping.
So the dumping.
Yeah, because when people clean areas, they come and they dump the stuff out there.
Oh. Okay. So we're getting ready to visit Albistown and Lamaha Spring. Lamaha Spring area. Let's go and hear what's going on down here.
They clean up to down there and that's it. Behind here, nothing is going on at the back.
They got a problem with the
Supposed to come across, but it is everybody lock up there. The water is stagnant.
This trench I can recall was very dirty, and with the help with you guys, that was it. The same money we received from government. Yeah. Assist us to clean this drain or this canal here. You're seeing very clean. This was a dump site. The vegetation in this canal was terrible. And look at it today. And we try to maintain it because with the same $5 million we used to receive from government for a constituency, those money assisted us to keep these areas clean. But I don't know what's going to happen in the coming years because we're not receiving that subvention anymore. So I just like to show you this is maintained by the council in the area and the city council. We're trying our very best.
Mayor, please, I want you just give me the drive and go with your person. Just I could drive you from behind.
Where's the
Douglas, you got to go through B field. Go wrong in B field. You got to go wrong B
Where's
field.
the house spring?
You got to go through B field.
Oh, go around at the back.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I got drive and come back here. He want to show the mayor something.
Come.
Mr. Douglas and these ladies. So your vehicle, I am pick up my vehicle and drive and come back here.
My vehicle park so.
Yeah, but I go in my the vehicle right in the corner.
So you guys are.
So we're gonna take a walk to Lamaha Springs
Douglas, go with the mayor vehicle.
and see what's going on there.
We would have been able to clean up this place. I can't understand. You realize for 5 years when we were in government, we didn't have this because it was being maintained. Now nothing is being done. I'm still baffled as to where this 300 million was spent on because they didn't do no work really. And then when they do give a few contracts, they give it to the friends and family. You gotta give it to persons in the constituency. They know their area. Who better to do the job than the people who are living there? Come on, I'm tired of this. I didn't even think we had that much rain. I woke up this morning, I was like, what the hell? I go to board, I had to call the mayor. I said, Your Worship, I'm in knee-high water in Border Market. In Border.
Wow.
And I was shocked because I haven't seen that in a while.
Wow. In border.
In Border.
Wow.
This is ridiculous now. The people deserve better than this.
All right, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We are going to bring you more coverage. We head into Lamaha Springs now and see what's happening there. Stay with us, yeah? Stay on the line. We're not going to come off the air. We're going to stay on the air. You may get some shaking and so on with the footage, but stay with us. Oh, we're turning back, so let's turn back, see. All right, so if you just join us, we're heading to Lamaha Spring, I think it is. Uh, and also, we're supposed to be heading as well into All Boys Town to do some assessment there as well. So we are preparing to get there. I think there's one other stop for that, those two stops. So we are going to see what the counselor is going to be taking us before those two stops. Okay, so stay with us. Yeah, so that's what's going on in our city, in our country. Um, we're bringing to you this coverage because we want you to see exactly how the authorities are handling some of the flood situation here in Guyana. This is local government um, here, arm of the state that is doing this. This is the mayor and team. We were in Plum Park just now, and now we are heading through. We're heading to another location, and that has to do with more flooding. We were told that Lamaha Springs is flooded out. The mayor is going to take a visit there. He also wants to go and see what's happening in uh, Always Town. Those are flood prone areas that, anytime there's a high tide or heavy rainfall, those areas will get flooded out. And so we are heading there in a moment. So we are still, we're at the back of Sophia here. As a matter of fact, we are just next to the Sophia complex there, just out of Plum Park. This is a National Exhibition Complex, um, where the Ghana Bureau Standard is located. Offices in there, where the old National Service location used to be. Um, Now we are heading back out uh, to get into Lamaha Spring to see the flood situation there. And so we are bringing to you this live. We are not going to come off the air. We want you to spread the word, share the link, because that is how you get to know some of the things that are happening in your neck of the woods. I know there are some areas that are flooded out. Remember that if you are having flooding in your area, I posted a few numbers out there that you can check out. It's on the Village Voice Facebook page. You call that number. If there's any emergency, anything you want us to cover, you call that number, and I will do my best to get to you to, you know, the area concerned and to cover the story, so you can get out there and the authorities can give you help. These are serious times. You need to be on the lookout, listen, observe anything that is happening that is not normal happening in your area. Call Village Voice News and call us and our other associates, media personnel, and we're going to do as best as we can to get to you, so that we can cover the story for you and get the message out there. That is the only thing. That is the only way you can get some of the messages out there from an authorized source. I remember, from an authorized source, because there are so many persons now on Facebook spreading news, and they're not an authorized news agency. Okay, they're not an authorized news agency, and you can be tricked, you can be duped. A lot of false news, and you don't want to be in that position. All right, so remember, share the link, like the page, and as soon as we get something, we're going to bring it to you so you can know what is happening from an authorized trusted source. Remember also to get your Village Voice paper. Collect your Village Voice paper at the nearest newsstands or call the office and we're going to get the papers to you. All right. Remember that. Remember to support Village Voice. Buy the paper. The paper is selling at $140 every Sunday. And even if we're not there on Sunday, you can always come down to Critchley Labor College and collect your Village Voice paper. The Village Voice paper is a trusted source. It's our news in print. All right, it's our news in print, and you need to get the Village Voice in your homes. All right, in your communities. All right, trusted source. Remember, trusted source. You don't want people to give you news from an unauthorized source, people who are just being wicked and malicious, right? You need to get your news from a trusted source like Village Voice News. So buy the paper, look out or go to the newsstand. If you want to be an agent for the Village Voice, you contact that same number that is on the page that I sent to you earlier this morning, and we're going to tell you how you can be an agent for Village Voice or a vendor for Village Voice. All right, you can be an agent, you can be a vendor, and there's a lot of scope for many of you out there who wants to ensure that Village Voice news spread. You contact us and we can let you know how you can be hooked up as a vendor or as a agent for Village Voice. All right, so yes, we are in Ayfield, Sophia. We're heading to Lamaha Spring, and we are going to see what's happening because we were told that they are flooding in that area. So we want to pay a visit to that area, see what are some of the issues person is having, so that we can bring it to you live. So don't come off the air, stay right there. You can go and get a bite, take a bite, come back, but hold the feed, share the feed, share the link, and so that anything happen, we can bring it to you. Remember, this is coming to you via Village Voice News. This is also coming to you. We're sharing the link with our affiliates, some of our associates in terms of news gathering, who are carrying this feed. All right. So here we go. We're heading back out of Sophia and heading into Lamaha Springs. Wow, look at this. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. Look at that. Like a little river here. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. How? Look at that. Look at that. In those homes there. Your home is not high. Looks like that. Look at that. Look at this. We coming out here for a while. I'm live still. I'm live all the time, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
So-
we're here in South. It's a part of Festival City, Buster Bridge.
Yes, Buster Bridge, Old Buster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buster Bridge. You
Look
can
at
see the
that.
water
Yes.
here. Yeah, very huge.
This is a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
But I like to make mention of something.
Mm-hmm.
I find that the government, Minister Ejil, going around the city and casting blame on the mayor and city council, the mayor. I like to respond to Minister Ejil in terms of, if the government do not give us the money, how can you expect us to do these works? 2.1 or 2.2 billion budget for the city can't run the city, Minister Ejil.
Mm-hmm.
You have to come to reality. Be realistic, sir. So I don't know where you're going and cast blame on the mayor and city council. And we asked you, I met with you, I seek your help many times. Let us come together and work in the citizen interests. But it's clearly showing that you have a political agenda, and this PVP regime got a political agenda. I Meadowbrook, I went been there. I have done that when you said Jel, I've been there. I had interact with those residents, and they can tell you. I have a few just called me on my phone and said, Minister Jel abusing out the mayor and city council. Come on, Minister Jel, you can do better. Tell the people, let us work together, let us meet and strategize to develop the city for their interests. Don't play political game. Don't for political scores, Minister Jel. Be bigger than that, sir. And I want to encourage you. Let us sit down on a round table with NDIA, the city engineer, and all the stakeholders, and let us work in the interest of the city. You have the entire Sheriff Mandela Avenue project going on. Not one day the mayor and city council have been engaged, Minister Ejil. And those drains that you guys building fill with sand and stone. Next few mornings, you will say, oh, we're not doing our job, but you guys are not sitting down with us. Hi, buddy, you want to dictate. Well, I'm not in for dictatorship. So Minister Ejil need to get a grip of himself and let us work together for the citizens of Georgetown. Don't cast blame. Don't cast blame, Minister Ejil. Get a grip of yourself. People looking at you. Look here. You want what you will say here? These roads need to be done.
Look at the amount of water there. Yeah.
Right? These roads need to be done.
Almost half a long boots.
Yes.
Yes. See? There you go.
So these
This
people
whole road right up flooded out. Whole road. Whole
so we
road.
heading
So,
down to Lamaha Spring and the joint service scheme there now for deal with some flooding as well.
all right.
So Wiggs, I encourage you to follow us.
Thank you, sir. We go behind you. We behind you. There you have it. Lots of flooding behind South Festival City here. Lots of flooding. Most of the persons are inside their homes trying to scramble whatever they can to put up from the water. But that is what's happening. If you look at those buses there, look at the buses there. So they're coming in. Look at that. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's what's happening. We're behind the mayor still. We're still following the mayor. Oh, we are getting down into the wards of Georgetown, into those areas that some may not want to venture out into, but we are going there. Look at that. Ah, and more rain coming. More rain is on its way, and if this doesn't get fixed with a united front, we're going to be in some serious flooding issues. We're going to be back to 205. Don't know if you, many of you were not born in 2000. You were not alive or born in 2005. Uh, um, some of you born after 2005, but we were in the flood. We were in the flood situation in Georgetown, and I was in the, at the time I worked with NCN, and we were covering this thing. Leptospirosis was on the rise. Waterborne disease. Look out for waterborne diseases. It's going to come out. Lots of waterborne disease going to come up during these times of the flood. Sewage is going to be overflow, and the water is going to be mixing with water that you are drinking and water that we are using, and it's going to be a disaster if we don't get this under control quickly. Look at that. Yeah. Trying to hold my phone grip my phone as hard as I can because uh, don't want that to fall into the water. But oh boy, this is not good at all. Not good. This is not good. Look at that. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Y'all high and dry. Right. Like everybody just gone in. You're seeing, you're hardly seeing folks walking on the road. This is where you call Metahalsa Road. Metahalsa Road in south. The Baker Shop Road, or some person would call it. No, that's the whole street flooded out. If you don't have vehicle, you will have to put on your long boots and get out to for transportation and so on. That's what's happening here. It's a flood out. The mayor and Chanel is having a chant there. So we're going to show you as much as we can, um, as best as we can. So give the little shaking because I'm driving at the same time and trying to get to the location with the mayor and team to give you and to show you what's happening in South. It is underwater, most parts of it. We're going down at the back of Lamaha Spring to show you what's happening behind there. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. I can tell you that. Doesn't look good. So remember to make contact with Village Voice News to get your Village Voice paper. Village Voice paper going for only $140. There is where you're going to get an authentic news that you can trust, and you can collect your Village Voice on the newsstands across the city, across the country. Collect your Sunday Village Voice papers as best as you can. Call us, call the number that I posted that is on the screen. There's also a number on the Facebook page of Village Voice where you can get your Village Voice news. And if you have news tip, you can call us. Call us if you have any news tip, anything happening in your area that you want us to cover. Ensure you call us, and we're going to be there as fast as possible to get the story out there. All right, so we're now passing Congress Drive. Congress Drive, we're heading up. We're heading into Lamaha Springs. I think we're also going to go by the joint service scheme. This is Kaikan Street we're turning in right now. Kaikan Street. Kaikan Street there. That's another first keeping Kaikan Street. No doubt. All right, we're entering Lamaha Springs. Lava Springs there. Somebody's here. Oh, the end is the RDC councillor. Now I see councillor, matter of fact, the chairman of the RDC is here, and a few ministers. All right, this is going to be good. This is looking good. Let's see what's happening here now. See councillor.
Just pull up the
Yeah, I got move my book. Yeah?
Well, listen.
However, I can make mention all the pumps in the city are currently operational. Right now, the doors of the sluice, all of them are open, and I believe the engineer said to me about 3:34, those doors will be closed, and the pump will kick, kick in again. However, there are numerous places I visited. Border Market is underwater, Starbuck Market, um, Albaiston, Plum Park. Also, we visited a few section of South and also South Yard. So those areas are underwater, and we are trying our very best to see how we can be able to help citizens through CDC and with the help of NDIA. I must say, I want to express my sincere thanks to the CDC and NDIA for all the assistance they're giving us at the Mayor City Council. I encourage that citizens let us work together. But what I find most in the constituency or community, garbage and bottles and bags filled with garbage piling up at the mouth of the drains. So those are things we have to try to remove. And currently the drainage section of the engineer department is on the ground doing so.
Mr. Chairman, good morning. We are live, Village Voice News. So give us an update on the region. You have a.
No,
Oh, let's go. No problem. You know one.
Well, Janice, that there the city is not the now flooding. It's for decades the city is flooding, and we as government, central government and local government has to sit down, and that is what I keep saying all the time, that we have to sit down on a round table with the NDIA, CDC, and other stakeholders to see how we can fix this problem. It do not make sense bashing each other, local mayor city council bashing government, government bashing the mayor city council. I believe if you have consensus, it would not benefit us, it will benefit the people in the city, because those people is our interest. We have to take care of those people. And flooding is not new to the city. Flooding is something is for decades we're trying to resolve these issues. I am ready at all anytime, and these are things I met with the president and team and I discuss these things, and it's a back and forth. And I wish not to go in a back and forth with the president and his ministers. I am trying my very best as mayor to do my best for the citizen of Georgetown. Yet our budget is a constraint. 2.1, 2.2 billion cannot run the city, right? Because the city has expanded to Agricola and Cummins Lodge, and we must understand the realistic and the value of monies, right? So though 2.1, 2.2 billion can't run the city, and that's why the Fiscal and Transfer Act stated very clearly, Section 6, treatment of Georgetown subvention. There's a law to follow, there's an act to follow how you give us this money. And I'm not asking government for money. I'm asking government let us sit on a round table, discuss the way forward, and you spend the money. But let us be a part and parcel so our engineer, the city engineers and team can be there to maintain these things. But we are not a part of anything. I'm not asking government, look, give me a couple 100 million, let me spend it. Let us spend it together, you know. So that is what I'm calling for, consensus between the local government and central government. I am prepared at any time. Anytime I'm prepared. Well, everything lies with the Honorable Minister of Local Government. I met with the private sector via Zoom, I think was last month, when stated to me that they will try to tie in this triangle with private sector, MCC, and the local government to see how we can move forward in that way. I never heard back anything from the private sector, you know. So I'm trying. I can show you all my letters. I make representation. I write to the ministers, and no response. You know, you're not getting any response from these ministries.
Mayor Pleasant, but fracture be so hard to fix, though. It's like it's written with face blood.
No, what happened then is there is certain area you need to bust back, right? Because the canal, the channel is not enough, wide enough, right, to take those water out, right? And the entire drainage system, like for the hospital, public hospital, courts, and those areas need to different channels. Can't continue in this whole fashion way. We have to make some changes in the drainage system in Georgetown, which is a good system. We got a good system, but changes need to make in some other ways so that the water can get off very quickly. And we identified those already. We communicate those with NDI, right? But we are not getting any action. It's blame game. I'm not ready for blame game.
Mr. Chairman,
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Right, so, of course, as the mayor said, that this isn't a new issue with regard to the Georgetown area. And the Georgetown area would continue to have this issue unless we have some intervention. Right? It is noted that no matter the the current scope of work that is left to be done in Georgetown needs to be amplified more. Right? More of the stakeholders need to come here. Actually, last night I was dreading because what we find is that no matter how much that we keep an eye on the pumps and the sluices within Georgetown, as soon as we have heavy rainfall compounded with the high tide we have this, and it's sad to see that we were doing so well in Region 4 over the past week in terms of drainage and irrigation, and then today this is what we people have to wake up to on a Sunday morning to read. Just to give you a little recap of what is going on in the region, right? We have about 56 pumps on the east coast of Demerara, and out of the 56 of them, 48 of them are operable. We have there about 25 sluices on the east coast. Out of the 25, we have 21 operable, and for those inoperable, we would have put mobile pumps to get the water off the land in those areas. For the East Bank, we have up there about four sluices, in which 40 of them are operable, and the ones that are inoperable need some minor repairs to have them there. And we just have about one pump on the East Bank at the Horstelling area to aid that sluice in that area. So on the peripherals of the region, we're not doing that bad, but yet we see that because of the increase in rainfall, we have mass accumulation of water. With Georgetown being here, working along with the municipality and the other stakeholders, we have to find a better way to attack the issues of flooding in Georgetown. I mean, waking up on a Sunday morning after you would have seen all week that we would have been doing a good job, and the floods are here. It's very sad. We would have noted flooding in the entire south of Georgetown, east Rumpel, west Rangeville, uh, east Rangeville, west Rangeville, north Rumpel, Alexander Village, Whitestone, Sophia area, um, Prashad Nagar, some areas in Kiti. It's just a very sad situation, and we have to do better.
How long ago did you recognize these pumps and sluices have not been operating?
We would have the information that I would have just given you would have been from my regional report on the 28th of May, 2021, Friday. Right. Now, the operability of these pumps and sluices, right, is something that we've been monitoring at the regional level. However, some of them have some issues. For example, some of the pumps have issues whereby um, some parts need to be sourced for the pump, and that is what is causing the issue with the pump being operable. Some of the pumps, for some areas, may be down, but they may have three pumps in one area. So the one pump that is down, that's what comes into the statistics. We do know that in the stratosphere area, we would have an abnormal amount of water in the ground because one of that pump is down. From here, actually, I'm going to head straight to Key and Grove and see what's going on in that general area because I was told that the pasture area within Key and Grove is having some issues. And also, I received a call that Buxton is inundated with water. Right, so those are some of the areas apart from Mocha, which they have an issue that I'm aware of that is a multi-stakeholder issue that must be sorted out. And we have about 20 farms in St. Cuthbert Mission that are underwater currently. There are about with St. Cuthbert's Mission, we have there about 70 households being affected by this flood here. We're still doing the assessment for the coastal villages along the bank villages. And of course, now we have Juan Craig here with us today. We'll do an assessment for George. Now, the prioritizing of giving relief, as I was told, persons whose homes were affected would be high on the priority to get the sanitization stuff for them. And for persons who would have just have water just in their yards, right? Then those relief efforts will be coming a bit later, right? So with the assessments, we are reaching out to all the local democratic organs within the local democratic authorities, and we are asking that the councillors give us a timely feedback. I do know CDC has a number out, and through our original reports on Friday, we would have put out the number for the RDC, and also we asked residents to give whatever complaints they have directly to the NDC so that they can be filtered up to us. I mean, I'm out here, the mayor is out here, the director general of CDC is out here, but we are still limited in how many villages we can touch, so we need these reporting processes to be immediate. We're also appealing to the citizenry to report any breach of sea defense immediate, any failure of any drainage or any drainage infrastructure immediately, and any obstruction of drainage infrastructures immediately. We also ask the citizens to adhere to not littering disposal of garbage in the correct manner, and also to, in this point in time, as you see, we are standing here in water, right, to wear the necessary safety gear and also sanitize as necessary. We don't want to have an outbreak of a health issue with COVID also, and we're dealing with flooding. So it's sad to say that this is not new to us here in Georgetown, but it's something that we must work together, central government, regional government, and local government, in order to eradicate this within the municipality.
But Sherman, you said you recognize that some of these drainage facilities have not been working since March. It is now May, and given the fact that we
No,
all
no, no.
know.
The report that I gave you, the update was from May was the 28th of May. That's Friday last, right? And we are working along with the necessary stakeholders to have them repaired, right?
But how long ago you knew that you were not?
Well, I only got this report, this detailed report on Friday, but I didn't get the dates actually that it was reported that they needed the upgrades. So, right? As I said, with regards to the sluices, the percentage of sluices that are down, right? We would have put mobile pumps in those areas to get those waters off the river. And for the areas that the pumps are down, right, we also have additional drainage mechanisms there to get the water off. So that's why you may find on the lower and the upper east coast we're not having that much flooding, and also the entire east bank area we're not having that much flooding, right? It's something that you need to understand is that when it comes to drainage of the region, right, it is a multi-stakeholder initiative. It takes central government, the regional government, and the local democratic government. Also with them is the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, right? With Gaisuku, who for the East Coast they have some amount of authority over some of the pumps and the drainage facilities. So when we go, we find a facility or an infrastructure that needs to be rehabilitated, or so we have to activate the necessary mechanisms to have the institutions informed, and then we have the works done. Right? I do know that in the LBI area, I think it was Kisan Scheme, right? They would have reported to me on Thursday that the sluice in that area had an issue. After finding out exactly who has authority over the sluice, it was Gaisuku, and Gaisuku took immediate action, and that is actually being repaired. But now they have to do some concrete work, so that's so you know the weather and everything. Um, it's not that timely in terms of having it done. So we're working within the constraint, but we're working to have it all done. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Going there.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to check something at the bridge here before we move from this. Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
I want you to. I know you got more on your tongue. No, don't say that. Work your way.
So you just heard from the chairman of the region that most of the pumps are working. The drainage is one of the biggest issue, and he's working as best as he can with central, regional, and the local government. Look at that. See that here? This is almost coming to the road here.
This is a trench. They're supposed to have tubes under it. I know that this whole thing is.
Look at that.
This canal was supposed to be
There's a canal here.
Yes. This is a brand new canal. And they come to help us. A couple of years ago. 2019. Yeah, but what happened? It's failed of maintenance.
Yes.
And then the IE has promised us that they can help us to, keep maintaining it. But I don't know.
Here on the main drain.
Here was
The east
clean.
west drain.
Right to was clean. In 2019, 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, this main drain clean. All them drains go up. The part of those trucks there, they will go up. Because if you look at this, they move it. No, this is not moving. Look them bag with all kind of thing when they throw in there. Look. Bag with the garbage all inside it.
And this government needs to understand they need to stop playing politics with people's lives. At the end of the day, if you believe
responsibly
and the community didn't vote for you, they're still taxpayers. Come on. This is not how people are supposed to live.
When last is canal clean?
2019, we did it. The AP and UFC did it.
All right, let's go to the
Mayor, which other areas is heavy here? The water will receive. The pipe fall already.
Lena, with you, I saw some people from CBC there this morning. I went there, all those areas I visited, and Alberton, to what the water will receive time like now. I wanted to know what Minister Edil, with all these contracts he give, and how come the city flood? He stated that he give contracts to Albystone and a lot of areas, and I don't know what happened now, and he casting blame on the mayor and city council. So you have to watch Minister Edil. If the people them sign the contract and collect the money and not do the work, because the city council is not a part, and we don't know nothing. So him calling.
Every councillor knows their constituency and will be able to pinpoint exactly where it needs to be cleaned in order for us to stop flooding.
Correct.
But they're not doing anything. They just said, well, he said he gave out 300 million in December with his own mouth, I heard it. But I want to know what went.
No, but we usually have 5 million from
That's
the
the
government.
thing. And we were able to say what we wanted to get done to ease these things.
The whole South Leonard Community Center there is a community that I use to build a community.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to the session. I'm gonna send her a message.
No, where we going now?
Oh, you're going there now?
Yeah, we're going straight up. So
Oh,
we gonna follow you.
Albystone.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. All right, so we are heading to All Boys Town. Heading to All Boys Town now. You heard everything that the mayor and the chairman, the regional chairman, had to say pertaining to what's happening in the areas, in the wards across the city. Uh, it is terrible. It's not nice, and we need to unite to get this thing done. So we're heading out to All Boys Town now. Um, assessment, flood assessment. All right, so stay tuned. Share the link. Uh, share the link. Like the page. Stay on the line. We're going to All Boys Town, and then that should be the end of our coverage. So in Albice Town, the mayor and going in park and walk with the team. So stay with us. We're in Albice Town right now. In Albice Town, and so just give me a second. All right, we are in All Boys Town right now. This is in All Boys Town. This is what's happening in All Boys Town right now. The the flooding. The whole street is flooded. You see, MP Ferguson is here with the mayor, regional chairman, as well as the head of the CDC. Mr. Boswick, you're live. You want the council for this area, right?
Yes, thank you.
What's happening in the area?
Well, you can see the entire Albion Song is underwater. And I always put out a plea, mainly and especially for those that live in flood. Because I know for a fact, under these conditions, they are affected. You'll find many families living up to the bottom floods. They are mainly and majorly affected when this water meets to the state here in the community. And I'm reaching out to those who can assist them to please render assistance. You know, if you have the opportunity to go house to house, you'll see what I'm speaking of. You'll recognize that people pick the personal belongings and so gone floating. What they were able to save, they tried to save. If you go house to house, which I did this morning.
And what when you just
But
said,
apart from that, I would be very grateful. I recognize that the various ministries or whichever designated ministry, they are giving out works for cleaning. I'll appreciate if they consult with the councillors of the various constituencies who has the know-how, right? I don't necessarily want the contract, but I want to satisfy that when they finish, the community benefit. They not so long ago had some cleaning when just after this the government was take office, and we should not have had this. But when I was pointing out to the minister, the subject minister, Minister Rablan, when I was pointing out to him that unless we have a proper supervision of these things, if this water here, you can have this again. He was adamant and very disrespectful, but now the evidence presents itself. I wonder if he'll be honest enough to come and let us work together.
would you be getting a list of the persons in this area in All Boys Town who are in dire need of?
That list is already
assistance?
available.
How many persons would you say?
You have a list of 130 single parents, and you have a list of 132 persons who are 60 years and over. Yes, we do. That's the kind of analysis. That's how we go to house and see the people's circumstances, make a data of it, and we have that available.
And who are you going to be disseminating this list to? Who are you going to be giving the
Well,
list
we
out
just
to?
always solicit, we always collaborate with the CDC and His Worship the Mayor, who in his own humble way try to get some hampers in whatever nature.
Right. Okay, Mr. Mayor, we're wrapping up your tour of duty, heading back to the office.
Well, I am heading back to the office of the mayor, and I believe I am going to do a live press on my feed because I am dissatisfied with the kind of communication from central government to the local government. I have visited other areas this morning, and I will continue to do so, maybe till this evening. And however, I want to assure the citizens of Georgetown, the mayor, councillors, and officers of the Mayor City Council will continue to work in their interest.
You're talking to an audience across the world right now. Oh, just fell in there. Yes, you were talking to a global audience, and there are persons who may be looking right now online that may want to send in assistance to the mayor and city council to help with offset of other, detergent and so on and so forth. How can they do that? And do we have a number that they can call, a contact that they can call, that they can send help
Well,
to you for the
there's a
citizenry?
number here, 649-5830. 649-5830. You can able to that is my number. You can contact me. You have 225-1159. That is a office number. And you can also, I have a Facebook page. His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Ubraj Narain. You can contact that page as well, and we will able to respond to you. If you do send in funds or anything, it will have to go through the council, and the council will able to give the directive to such monies or any form of help. The council will have to give such direction.
So in summing this whole thing up, you're saying that Georgetown is flooded. Parts of Georgetown is flooded, and you're saying also that there's a lack of communication between central government and the Ministry of and the local government and the mayor and city council office pertaining to coordinating this activity.
Yes, the cleanup exercise. The ministers, both local government and public works, make mention of, but we are not aware of those cleaning up exercise. We don't know who is the contractors. We don't know what area they're cleaning or clearing. You see, if we know these things, we will able to communicate to the residents. We will able to have a work program at the level of the mayor city council that these things are not about projects alone. Let us not get it wrong, but about maintenance so that these areas can be properly maintained after this big cleaning up exercise. But if you clean up now and the vegetation grow back next 2 months, you will continue to cast blame either side. And we are not being consulted fully. And I just want to say, Minister Edil, I believe got something to do with the city, the main city council. I have no personal gain, or I'm not attacking him personally, but he should not attack the main city council just like that. There's something called consensus, and I keep calling on government. Let us work together for the citizens' benefit. These contract, millions of dollars they claim they give out in contracts, and then yet you're casting blame on the mayor and city council. Therefore, where these millions in contracts cleaning this city, where is it? I don't know. I'm not a part and parcel of it. Are these contracts just signed and people collect their monies? That is the next assumption we will go to. So we have to be very careful how we dealing with these matters, right? Very careful.
So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any final word before we go?
Well, I just want to encourage the citizens. Let us try to clean our environment. Stop throwing garbage in the canals, in your drain, and so let us keep the city clean. And that also will help us because of the pumps and the sloughs, bag and bag of garbage we keep taking out, old chairs, and all these things we keep taking out from the canals. And I want to encourage them to wear the long boots, wear the mask, and be safe out there. There are a lot of sickness and diseases you can able to track with this kind of
Yeah, the waterborne disease is going to be rising up. Yes.
It's very, very important that we adopt all precautions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks again, Weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, good. Yeah. So this is All Boys Town. Just standing up outside of All Boys Town and on the main road, James Street, and you're seeing the road here flooded right up the road, straight up there. As you can watch, straight up that road there, all the way up there. It is flooded. This is not nice. The rain continues like this, you will have serious problems in other areas. As you can see, traffic is coming through here. Right? As you can see, traffic is coming through here as well. And the right us that way as well. You can see the whole road there, inundated with water. So we are going to end our broadcast right here, and we trust that as you continue to follow our page, we're going to bring you the latest um, in this area where the flooding is concerned, as best as we can to let you see what is happening. Not only in Georgetown, we're going to see as best as far we can go outside of Georgetown, probably in Region 3, in Region 6, and Region 5, right? Region 8, and those areas, to let you see exactly if we're getting any improvement in terms of the water going down or if it is getting worse. So we know that in some part it's worse than we think. But this is what's happening right now. You can look here. The water is almost going to go on the walkway here, all across there, on there as well. And if you're coming through All Boys Town, take your time and come through, because you don't know where a hole is. You don't know where you can drop into something that you can't see. Okay, so be careful out there. Wear your mask. All right, I'm here with MP Ferguson. She is taking a walk in the area as well to see what is happening in All Boys Town. We have a resident here with us as well back there, and she is having a matter that you want to bring to the MP's attention. MP Ferguson, I know that this is part of your constituency too, would you say?
This is part of my constituency, and also I'm shadowing public infrastructure
Right.
in the National Assembly
Right.
as a member of Parliament.
And so far, since you have seen this devastation and flooding,
Well, Andrew, this
what
is
are
a
you
sad affair. It's really sad to see how the city has returned to its state pre-May 2015. When we came into government in May of 2015, the first thing that greeted us was heavy rainfall, which caused huge flooding in the city. And from then to up to the time we left office, what we at the Ministry of Public Infrastructure would have done is to set up task force, with Ministry of Communities. You even had the involvement of City Council, right, where the main arteries, the main canals were cleaned. Even here in All Boys Town, right, canals were cleaned, and persons would have experienced a massive reduction in flood waters whenever it was after our intervention. So I've heard the plea of the Mayor and City Council. I've heard the plea of residents that this is unbelievable what they're now seeing in 2021. The Mayor and City Council has been cash-strapped since the government came into office. They're not giving the City Council any money to do routine maintenance in many of these areas here in South Georgetown. And Andrew, you know what is the sad thing? The sad thing is that it is the ordinary people. It is the ordinary people who suffers, because many of those in authority, they live in fancy houses. They don't experience what the ordinary citizens are experiencing here in Georgetown. And it is a sad affair. And to know, last evening, I was listening to a program, right, where you had Joseph Hamilton and Zulfikar Mustafa. Both of them were on the program. And you know what they said? They visited, Joseph Hamilton said he visited South Georgetown, South Rumbelt, North Rumbelt, East Rumbelt, West Rumbelt, even in the All Boys Town area. And they've seen no flooding, but yet being on the ground here today, Sunday, the 30th day of May 2020, the stories are being told differently, because on the ground, you're seeing exactly that areas have been flooded. Look, I'm going across there to this young lady. She said, you know, from the time the rain falls, you know, her entire business place where she dwells has been flooded. So what's happening there? The whole place is flooded from the time rain falls. No matter what happens, everything. If the city place did was flooded, I have to move everything just to get every time rainfall is the problem on Hunter Street. All the time. But have you seen any authorities from the installed regime? Have they visited you to find out what would have been some of your losses?
No.
Have you received any detergent, cleaning detergent
No,
or anything? So nobody in authority visited to say anything?
Nobody.
All right, now you have the mayor and his team, they're on the ground. So I guess, you know, from the level of the mayor and city council, they will give the necessary intervention. But the reality here is that you have a change in administration, and I guess you have been hearing from the mayor and city council, you know, they plead, they cry to central government for the necessary assistance for them to work together to solve many of the issues, such as flooding, garbage collection, among every other thing. But you see what? The government is not heeding to the cause of the city council. So the city will continue to work with the citizens, right? So that at least we can bring, if they can get some relief. Right? So just be strong. But I'm happy to see that at least the water is receding. I know that. Yeah, I'm okay. I know for a fact that the Director General of Civil Defense Commission, he was in the area. So he has promised to work with the IBC and the city council probably to give some assistance.
So we need some bleach and soap powder right now to clean up and wash the skin and no, but there's nothing.
Okay.
Every time there's a flood, there's nothing.
Okay.
You know?
Good day. All right. So I guess the city, your constituency, right? Will provide the necessary assistance for you people. All right? Just be strong, right?
All right.
Bye-bye, everyone. And be careful.
Right on the street, small boys down. We're here, that's it. Now, so that's it from us for this afternoon. We've been here since this morning, covering, bringing to you coverage from all over the place with the mayor. And so our stop is in All Boys Town. And so you want to thank all of you who are on the live with us this afternoon. It is now, wow, it's 2 o'clock. It's now 2 o'clock. And so we want to thank all of you to bring this, to have been with us this afternoon since this morning. And so we say thank you and stay tuned. Anything that is breaking, we're going to bring it to you. And if it happens, we're going to be there to bring it to you live on the Village Voice and our affiliate station. Okay, thank you very much for being a part of our broadcast. I'm Andrew Weeks, and I'm saying goodbye until next time. Have a great afternoon, everyone.